Two future Hall of Famers will face off in the first round of the NBA playoffs Saturday night on ABC as Kevin Durant and the Rockets will take on LeBron James and the Lakers. Since April 5th, LeBron James has averaged over 25 points and 11 dimes. Since leaving the Warriors, Kevin Durant is looking to get back on top as he's averaging 30 points, 49% from the field. However, he has a 13-18 record in the playoffs since 2021. Meanwhile, JJ Redick told ESPN's David McMenamin that Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves are out indefinitely and that he will not have an update on their playoff status this week at the very least. Redick also spoke on what the Lakers will need to do to win their first round series against Houston. Here it is, listen.
Taking care of the basketball and boxing out, that's the series. Scheme, personnel, obviously important. But if we don't take care of the ball, we don't box out, we're not going to win the series.
They're going to try to come in and punk us. And if you wouldn't allow that, you will be punked. And, I don't think we have any guys that's willing to be punked on this team. So you might not be the most athletic, the strongest, but we got to have the most heart.
As a reminder, Houston is heavy favorites in this series. But what is the recipe for the Lakers to take down Houston? Is it as simple as taking care of the basketball and boxing out? Wendy, what do you think?
Well, that would help. There's no doubt about that. When you play the Rockets, there's a couple of things that you're top of the line. And I'm sure JJ Redick is eyeball deep in all of the options at his disposal to try to figure out a game plan that's going to work. He obviously mentioned right there the rebounding. Houston's one of the great offensive rebounding teams of the decade. They thrive on getting second and third and fourth shots. And if you allow that, they will beat you. The game plan almost certainly offensively is going to be to give the ball to LeBron James, spread the court, and let LeBron create mismatches and find the best shot, either for himself or his teammates. When you play Houston, the two players that you want to target are Reed Shepherd and Alperen Şengün. These are excellent offensive players. Houston is suspect offensively. They need those guys in the game to get their offense going, although down the stretch of the season, Ime Udoka has found some lineups where he can generate some better offense that take pressure off of KD to be the offensive creator. But you've got to figure out ways to take advantage of those mismatches. You've got to punish those guys. That's where a guy like Luke Kennard is going to come in, his role expanded down. But if you look at the 10,000-foot view, what you really need is to extend. That's the message that the Lakers have to think every minute of the game. Extend until the fourth quarter. Your best chance at beating Houston is getting them into a close game. I understand that you're not going to have the same advantages as you did when you had Luka Doncic out there. But Houston has struggled at the end of loose games at the end of close games. And then extend the series. Scrap and claw and figure out how to get it back to Houston 1-1. That way you know you're coming home for a game 5. Extending the series brings the possibility of Reeves and Doncic back in. I do not know how they're going to feel in a week. I don't think anybody does. But the longer the series goes, the reinforcements come into view. But you know what the sports books say. They say that for a reason because the Rockets are appropriately heavily favored.
Those last two parts that Wendy brought up is definitely appropriate. You want the game to be as close as possible in the fourth quarter because clutch time, particularly with their propensity to turn the ball over, is something that has plagued the Houston Rockets all season long. We know this, and we still don't understand why they didn't go out and get themselves a point guard to make sure. I know that Reed Shepherd can play, and I like him a lot, but the bottom line is he's not that quintessential prototypical point guard that you need. He doesn't have the experience yet. You needed somebody with that to calm the waters, per se, and to make sure they protect the basketball. That's not what they did. So if you can get them into deep waters, make sure the game is tight down the stretch, you can exploit Houston. There's no question that that should be a recipe for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's one of the things that Wendy brought up. But in the same breath, you know what? Let's not forget the importance of defending because you got to defend overall, period. That's not the Lakers' strength. It looked like a strength of theirs at stretches this season, but by and large, that's not their strength. And when you are prolific offensively, but two of your primary offensive weapons are both out, there's a level of urgency and desperation the Lakers should be playing in. And here's what I mean. You're taking it game to game. You're not thinking about the entire series. What you're trying to do is this. Can we get this series 2-2, for example, through the first 4 games? Buying some time for Luka and AR to get back. Can we do that? You literally have to play with a level of aggression and desperation that propels you to go all out just to push for that. and then you get your boys back. That's how they should be thinking as as this series gets set to begin. Whether or not they do that remains to be seen, because they got a tall task, because Houston is going to rebound the basketball effectively, and there has never been, and I don't believe there ever will be in his career, an answer for Kevin Durant in terms of stopping him offensively. He is going to get his, no question. And unlike, even though we want to say that the record doesn't indicate that, they've gotten much better than the year before, because they're still a top 6 team defensively, just like they were last year, et cetera, et cetera. Last year, you didn't have a bona fide number one offensive option. It was the sporadic Mr. Green, Jalen Green, that was your guy for you with the Houston Rockets. Now you have arguably the greatest scorer in NBA history, clearly one of the greatest scorers in NBA history, in Kevin Durant. It's a different animal come playoff time. This is what he does, and that's the difference.
Okay, LeBron and Kevin Durant, only players with 10 or more playoff head-to-heads in the NBA right now, and they both average over 30 points a game when they play each other. So we know they're going to get theirs, regardless of the score. At least we get to see two of the greats go up against one another. Let's get to a quick take here, because this was something. Knicks center Mitchell Robinson apparently is working on his, let's call it, snake handling skills. He posted a video yesterday of him catching a snake in his backyard, and he named him Jeff. Listen to this.
Y'all will never just believe what the hell I caught in my backyard. Got me a snake. Caught that little boy. Nah, chat, I'm gonna let that boy go. I almost stepped on his ass though. That's how I caught him. That size 14 would have him up on everything I love. Yo. All right, man. Well, it was nice meeting you, brother. I think I'm gonna name you Jeff. My name is Jeff.
Okay. Number one, in Mitchell Robinson's hand, that thing looks like a worm. It doesn't even look like a snake, and he's right. His size 14 Crocs would have definitely smashed him. But nonetheless, Stephen A., your reaction to Mr. Robinson. You can't even speak.
How can I be nice? How can I be nice to saying this? You know, a little video and all of that stuff, that's fine. Mitchell Robinson has missed entirely too much action in his career to be messing around with snakes. With our luck when it comes to Mitchell Robinson, as a Knicks fan, the damn thing would have bit him and he'd have been out for the playoffs. That's the Mitchell Robinson that we know. So when y'all see this video, you can laugh, you can smile, and all of that other stuff. I get it, but you ain't a Knicks fan. See, Knicks fans are like this. What the hell are you doing? Get that thing out your hand. Throw it back in the grass. Leave it be. What are you doing? Because we don't need you out. Mitchell Robinson, and there are a potpourri of ways that this dude can end up missing a game. And you know what? I'm shocked that it didn't bite him, and we weren't sitting here this morning. Breaking news: Mitchell Robinson is going to miss the playoffs. Okay? That's what I was thinking about. What the hell is he doing? What the hell is he doing, Wendy? That's all I was thinking about right there. Thank goodness all's well that ends well. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Shay, first off, Mitchell Robinson's social media is a joy, especially if you like pickup truck coverage. I'm just going to tell you that a couple of weeks ago, he put on his social media his big toenail that came off and then autographed it and offered it up for fans. So to me, if you're going to analyze something, analyze that, not the snake video.
Okay, it's close to lunchtime here on the East Coast. Thank you for that, Wendy. We appreciate it. Mr. Robinson, just leave the snakes be, okay? At least till after the playoffs. But it did make for some good content. Jeff was an unlikely name for that little critter, I will say. An unlikely name for the snake he found in his yard.
I like human names for pets.
I do too. Big fan of them, although it does kind of ruin the human name going forward. Anyways, on the way here on First Take, Mel Kiper